friends, Donovan Bankhead here with Ernie Williamson Music. We have a fun guitar to show you today from the folks over at Gretsch. This is the Gretsch G5622T Electromatic. It's part of the Electromatic series. And kind of throughout this, I'm going to reference a few of my notes here just to make sure that I don't get any of the specs wrong. You know, the only problem with having all these guitars is it can be a little problematic to remember all of the all of the features and details and the specs. So, and I want to try to make sure that if we're putting this content out there, that we're making it accurate. So anyway, so we're going to do a couple of videos this morning. They will be released separately, but both for the Gretsch Electromatic series to kind of go through some of the key differences. So, but this one here, this is, like I mentioned, the 5622T. And what we've got here is a hollow body guitar with a chambered, so it's a laminated maple top. It's a chambered body with a spruce block. We'll kind of get into that here in a minute. So a spruce center block. And then maple neck, a laurel fingerboard, which laurel is like a sustainable, it's kind of like in the rosewood family. So you kind of think about it that way. Broadtron pickups, which we'll go into more detail. And then the Gretsch control layout, including the filter bleed, which we'll talk about that, the treble filter bleed, and then Bixby trim, and yeah, chrome hardware. And it comes in a variety of colors here. We've got it in the natural. So really popular guitar from our friends over at Gretsch. Similar to other models that they make, of course, kind of with that Gretsch aesthetic. But to me, the thing that's really sets Gretsch apart, there's a couple of things. One, it's just the visual styling. Like, they clearly kind of have their vibe going on with the way that, like, you know, just the uniqueness to some of the parts. They're just not using the standard, like, off-the-shelf knobs and strap hardware and switches that everybody else uses. But the main thing, really, to me, that makes them so unique is the pickups. The pickups that they offer are so unique and different than what we tend to see throughout other brands, other guitars, other companies. So we'll kind of talk through some of that. So let's go through the pickups. So these Broadtron pickups are really, really interesting. So obviously you've got, like, it's giving you it's giving humbucker. To talk like Gen Z here for a minute. So it's giving you like those humbucker vibes. And so that means, like, we've got the warmth that we have with a humbucker. And unlike single coils, these are going to be warmer. But because, though, of their overall, like, the larger size of the Alnico magnets, and also the closer spacing. Now this pickup here, it still has the plastic on it, but the general closer spacing of the bobbins here, it results in a fuller and rounder sound, and with a little more mid-range. So again, kind of giving us those classic humbucker style tones this way. We've got the Broadtron pickups here, which is a true humbucking pickup. So that means, like, compared to single coils, it's going to have a warmer sound with hotter output than what you would traditionally get in single coils. And the Broadtrons, even a warmer and more powerful sound than the Filtertron pickups, which we'll show in another Gretsch guitar in a separate video. And that's because they're a little larger size, they've got more winding inside, and with the ceramic magnets, you just get kind of like a hotter output there. Thicker, fatter sound with way more like low-end bass response. With some bite, some aggressive bite. So when you hear the John demo this guitar, you'll totally hear that. You also get, though, a good amount of clarity and definition with this pickup, so it's not like, doesn't get kind of woofy and woolly the way that some pickups can be, some humbucking pickups can be, so you still have clarity. That's thanks in part to the ceramic magnets that they are using for that. So you just get clarity with that than what you would normally get with maybe with like an Alnico pickup. And so also we've got slightly wider pull pieces here than normal, and that helps to contribute to just a balanced overall frequency response for this pickup as well, but still allowing like individual notes to sing, especially if you're using like any kind of overdrive, which can be really handy. It's got huge dynamic range, so very susceptible to volume control. So as we roll on and off the volume control, we can really clean up the sound, or by pushing volume, we can drive it into overdrive, which is really cool. But I think like these pickups are really just famous for having like this warm kind of, you know, sound. Great for like blues, pop, just anything where you kind of just want that warmth and also crunch. That's super popular for that. So the other thing that Gretsch is kind of famous for is their treble bleed control. And that treble bleed control is essentially a high pass filter. So it allows so that as you're turning down volume on the pickups, that it's not also reducing the treble frequency that comes through, which happens a lot. So you've noticed that likely in other guitars, that as you roll down on the volume control, that the tone gets darker as well. And so with the treble bleed control, this allows that to not happen, so that stays consistent. So anyway, really fantastic, versatile instrument. John will do a full demo where you can really kind of hear it go through its paces and see it, which is really handy. I think like this guitar is perfect for anyone who's like who is a Gretsch fan, or someone who just views themselves as like just wanting something a little different than the norm. You know, you want something that's a little bit different than what everybody else may have. Gretsch has always kind of appealed to that person. It's also a super comfortable, lightweight instrument to play, and also pretty affordable for the quality of what you get. So anyway, yeah, this is the Gretsch here, which is really a great choice for any of those things. So let's talk about how you can play it. So first of all, you can come to any of our stores. We're located in Missouri, with stores throughout Missouri and also in Kansas as well. So we'd love to see you anytime coming to the stores. Most locations open 7 days a week. Very friendly hours, very friendly people. Love to see you come in. If you don't see this guitar in your local store, which you can go to erniewilliamson.com to see what we have in stock. Website is something we're constantly working on all the time, trying to make it better and better and better and better and better. Spending lots of time, lots of money to get that thing up and running. But if you see, like, so if you live in the St. Louis area and you see that this guitar is in stock in Springfield, you can drop us an email or shoot us a text, and we're happy to get that guitar transferred up to you to play. Or if you don't want to go through the trouble of having to come into the store, or you don't live in our area, you can also just order direct from erniewilliamson.com, and we ship guitars every single day. So, okay, enough about that. Let's jump in and let's hear John play some cool stuff on this guitar.